Hi everyone, it's Emma here, and I just thought I would hop on to show you our new sections header feature and show you how to use it, and then at the very end I'll let you see what cool stuff we've been doing with columns and gutters. So firstly, what is the section header? So the section header is this new fill width text area that you can see here that sits just on top of the sections layout grid. So for every new section that you create going forward, we'll have one of these by default. And we decided to add this in because every time you needed a title for your section, it meant having to go down here to the plus and drag in a text block. You would have then had to make that text block full width, and every time you would have added content, that text block would have moved down the board and you would have had to move it back to the top again. So this is actually really good because this header stays at the top. So no matter what I do with that content, the header doesn't move. So it's sticky there, it always stays there. So in terms of the title of your section, so the first text element within the section header is taken as the section's title, which is this. So you'll see then that title is reflected in both the section toolbar and in the section navbar. But I can always change that, and you'll see that update in these two areas here. But there might be some edge cases where you might not want this label and the section navbar to reflect this. So if I want, I can go in here and I can update that to design review and it'll reflect in the navbar. So that's just to show you that even though we set that as the default, that you can always override it if you need to. So if you look here, this new section header feels quite narrow, and I would usually keep the section header to default, which is auto, and that just means that the section header will always be as tall as the content within it. So if I go in here and hit enter a few times, you can see that it pushes the content down the board. But if you would rather a more fixed height, you can go in here and you can click either 33%, which means that the header title will take up at least a third of your browser window. There's 50%, which means that it'll take up at least half your browser window, and 100% takes up your full browser window. This is good for flexibility, but usually I keep it auto. So this would be a good point to say that we didn't add section headers to older boards by default, simply because we didn't want to mess up any of your layouts. So a lot of your boards will still have, if you've added them yourself, will have text blocks at the top of all of your sections. And if you go in here, it'll actually be set to hidden. So it'll look like this, probably with a text block just below the dotted line. But if you want to go in and add new section headers to your older boards, if you just click on here and click any of these options, probably auto, and it'll pop in just above the text block, and then you can copy and paste whatever you have in your text block just into your section header and then delete your text block. And then that means you'll have your new section header that's sticky at the top of each section. So just like with text blocks, you're able to toggle the alignment here. So I can make this left, center or right aligned. And if I have the section header's height to at least 33%, so basically any of these aside from auto, I'm able to toggle the vertical alignment to be either top, center or bottom, just like that. And in terms of the new columns and gutters then, so we have always had column and gutter controls at a board level. So if you change these, it changes them for the entire board. But we saw a value in actually putting some of these controls into the section toolbar, just to give you more flexibility in the kind of complex layouts that you can create. So if I go in here, I can say change the columns to 7 and the gutter to 2, and then go down into my next section and just say if I wanted 10 columns there with no gutter, I can do that there. I've just step out, you can see better what that looks like. So if you can imagine, if you have a load of sections, you'll be able to create a ton of different kinds of layouts with that flexibility. So I'm really looking forward to the kind of layouts you actually create with that. But that's a rundown of our new section headers feature. So I would love it if you went ahead and had a play around with it. Don't forget about this new grid options stuff in here. We'd love to see what you do with that. And it would be great if you could reach out directly at hello@niice.com or on Twitter @niiceapp and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you. Bye.